Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in the fourth and final round of the week. We have Therion Adventurer Punk on the left, which was the same duelist that was on in round 3, my friend Adam. And here we have the branded Despia deck on the right, which is the same player, same deck that you guys saw in round 2. Both players currently undefeated at this point, so the winner of this will get first place. And yeah, typically how our locals work. So we're gonna see the Therion Adventurer player go first here, starting with the Fateful, and then activating Ogre Dance to go ahead and search a copy of Deer Note, and then activating the effect of Fateful Adventure to go ahead and search for a monster and discard. So we'll go ahead and first yeet a card out of the deck, and then activate the effect of Enchantress to banish to go ahead and add a copy of Rite of Eremacir. So getting the adventure engine rolling here. He does have the Deer Note in hand, so if he does have another punk monster in hand like a ZMN, you can get access to, Chaos Ruler by adding a Foxy Tune, and then Deer Note effect revealing itself, and Foxy summoning the Deer Note, Synchro 8, etc., etc. So we'll see him get token, and looks like he'll also get access to the equip spell as well on the summon of the token, thanks to the Fateful Adventure. Also see a copy of Set Rotation and Called by the Grave in hand, two very powerful one-ofs, and yeah, he does have the ZMN in hand. So opt to go ahead and actually summon the Deer Note instead of the ZMN. And has no access to Griffin Ride at this turn because he did have to use the Monster Search from Fateful Adventure to go ahead and actually grab the Enchantress. Not opening up the best, opening up just Fateful is not the best opening. But it works. He'll be able to get into IP Masquerena with the token and the Deer Note. Deer Note effect will activate to go ahead and revive the ZMN, which will go ahead and pay 6 to go ahead and search for a punk that is not ZMN, and we'll go ahead and add a copy of the Foxy Tune from deck to hand, and could use Foxy Tune here if he wants to spare another discard. Well, I guess 2 more cards. Go ahead and summon another Deer Note from the deck if he does play 2. Then he can go for a Synchro 8 play there, possibly. Does have the Set Rotation, so this could go ahead and get him access to the Therion part of the deck. Could get him access to the Duke or the Bull. I believe Bull needs a warrior, which Deer Note actually is a warrior. I believe so. Yeah, and then the rest are Psychic, which I think Duke can equip to. So that's something. It's not the best, but it's something to get him to the Punk engine, or the Therion aspect of the deck. So he will go and activate the Set Rotation here to go ahead and get the Disc Coliseum to his opponent's field and Mystic Mind to his opponent's field. So we'll go ahead and flip up his field spell, activate the effect to go ahead and search for a Therion. We'll probably see him add again the copy of Bull because he does not have a machine engrave. So he will not be able to get access to something like Regulus unless he has an alternate way to get access to it this turn. But it still is a nice level 8 body to put on the field. So we'll go ahead and summon out the Bull by targeting the Deer Note in the grave. Special summon that to the field. And now could make a Helga Fibrax play. We're just going to see him link everything off for an Appaloosa, I'm guessing, with 3, I guess 3 counters. They're not counters, obviously, but 3 monsters used for its summon, so it'll gain 3 instances of 1800, or 800 attack, not 1800, that'd be insane, but 800 attack, bringing up to 2400, so just 3 negates there. Not the best opening here, kind of a bit of a clunky opening if we kind of look back to Set Rotation. No other Therion cards in hand, and just basically a Fateful Adventure to kind of kick things off here. I was curious as to why he didn't go for a Chaos Ruler play, because then I guess you could still make maybe some kind of Appaloosa play. But no, I feel like maybe there was a Chaos Ruler line there. I don't know. Instead of, because I know he summoned the Deer Note by pitching the Z. I don't know if there's a way you could just normal summon the Z, since I don't think he normal summoned that turn. Yeah, I know. Kind of crazy, right? Sometimes you just forget to normal summon. I know it's definitely happened to me before, where you're doing so many things and you're just you just really never end up needing it sometimes. But sometimes it can't hurt, right? So we'll see our Branded Despia player here open up with one of the better openings this deck can have, which is draw phase, branded opening, discarding Edgimp Chain. So the chain links will be, once the opening resolves, Aliber 1 and the Edgimp Chain 2. He'll add Patchwork and Branded Fusion. Then we're going to see him activate Branded Lost. So this is pretty much going to invalidate the Appaloosa that is on the field right now because of the continuous effects of Branded Lost. Let's say your opponent cannot activate anything in response when a fusion monster is summoned. So yeah, this is where ordering your chain links properly really counts, because if your fusion monster or way to fusion is not chain link 1, I guess it really only comes up for things like Super Poly and Branded Red, because those are quick play. The only way those things could ever really be chain link 2 is if they're activated in response to another card. But yeah, now all of that's happening here. Chain link 1, Chimera, chain link 2, can't really see what else he pitched. I'm assuming it was another chain, and might have been a tragedy, since he is going to get a search of ad libitum in here, it looks like. So it was probably tragedy, chain, and Aliber. So we'll go ahead and get to pop 1 and draw 2. Yeah, and he'll also get the search off of Branded Lost too. So quite a bit of chain links here. 1, 2, 3 chain links. So we'll go ahead and draw 2, pop 1. It's probably going to be the Appaloosa here. Or yeah, I guess you really don't care about Appaloosa at this point anyways. You have a 3300 body. Your opponent really can't respond to anything anyways because of Branded Lost. So might as well get the Disc Coliseum out of there, because that is a really insane card in the grind game and helps to recur a lot of resources. I think the first time something would be destroyed by battle, you can dump a Therion card instead, and then if something is destroyed by battle, you can just add it back. So if they try to run over Appaloosa, you just dump a Regulus. If they actually do run it over, by tagging over it a second time, add back Regulus. The same copy that you sent. So it's a very, very powerful card. So prioritizing it there, I think, is definitely correct. Then we're going to see him go for Albion. He'll activate Albion's effect on summon. So again, cannot respond here because of Branded Lost. Same thing with Lubellion. He'll banish the Albaz and the Edgimp Chain, and then Lubellion is going to shuffle back another fusion. And yeah, this is just going to be game right here. Yeah, shoving back the Albaz and the Lubellion for Mirror Jade. Being able to keep the Albion on board is kind of clutch too, because it's an extra 2,500 damage. But yeah, Branded Despia having absolutely no problem blowing through that board, especially the helper Branded Lost. The card's kind of insane. Not really too big of a fan of cards that say you can't respond to them, but it is what it is, right? We're going to do a game 2. And quick shout out to Imperium Duelist. If you guys are interested in making up amazing playmats, like the one you see on the left, that is an Imperium playmat. I don't think it's available anymore, but it's just kind of like an example of one of the playmats they've done in the past. They also sell sleeves, binders, deck boxes, and more. Check them out at the link below, and don't forget to use my discount code WinterKill10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel in the process. Same thing can be said about using my TCG Player affiliate link found in the description of all my videos as well. So, getting into the game here, we're going to see him open up Fateful Adventure again, which is rather unfortunate. It's kind of a similar opening, no Rite of Aramasir this time around, so at least it seems that way. So we're going to see him E-Telly for Xiamin, and then we're going to see him activate Fateful, search a monster, discard the Enchantress, and then Enchantress effect to go ahead and search out the right, and then we'll pay 600 here to go ahead and search another P.U.N.K monster off of the Xiamin. And this time around, is going to go for the Foxy Tune. So already seemingly like a better open here. Pitching Foxy Tune for its effect, and then resolving the effect, discarding another card. This time around, it's going to be Fairy Tale Snow. Very, very strong discard here, going for a Synchro 8 for the Chaos Ruler. Chainlink 1 Chaos Ruler, Chainlink 2 Deer Note. He'll go ahead and excavate 5. Revealing 2 copies of Tuning, Mystic Mind, another Foxy Tune, and a Therion King Regulus. So nice to just have that card in the grave to begin with. So if he has another Regulus, or in this case a Lily Borea, which he does, go ahead and summon that by attaching the Regulus to it, and then Lily effect, sending off the Regulus to go search Disc Coliseum, and then go ahead and Disc Coliseum later in the turn to grab another Regulus, target Regulus, and then you have the negate for 2 turns, because you can send off the equipped Regulus, because it is still a monster card. You know, monsters that are equipped as spells are still monster cards, even though they are spells. I know it's kind of confusing, but that's just the way it is. And then we're going to see him Synchro 10 into Baron de Fleur. So as Chaos Ruler and Baron. And then we're going to see the Regulus, target Regulus. So 2 interruptions on field already. And then we're going to see him normal summon Zeman because he has yet to normal summon, going for Halqifibrax. Halqifibrax effect to go ahead and summon a tuner from the deck. That will resolve here. And he'll probably going to go ahead and get Red Rose Dragon. And then from here, this is where you, I think, typically where you'd synchro like, you know, a Griffin Rider and the Red Rose into Baron. But of course, that's already been done. Then we see Rite of Aramasir get played to summon out token, and then synchro with the level 3 and the token for Shooting Riser Dragon. And then it looks like it'd probably be Chainlink 1 Shooting Riser, Chainlink 2, or Chainlink 1 Red Rose, and then Chainlink 2 Riser, or it might have been Chainlink 1 Riser, Chainlink 2 Red Rose. That newly limited Halqifibrax, so I mean, I always say it, just so glad I don't get 3 made on me anymore in a single turn, right? So we'll go ahead and summon out the Rox Rose. Rox Rose effect, go and had the Basil Rose Shoot. So, I mean, the field's kind of awkward right now. I guess the only benefit here is you can kind of turn the Hulk, the Rox Rose, and that Shooting Riser all into a 3-material Appaloosa. So that's not too terrible. Not really too many synchro plays that can be made right here. Unless he has like another... Well, you need to summon a tuner synchro anyway, so there's no real... you know, lines right now that I see, unless you could like Basil Rose shoot back the Red Rose and then make another synchro, but it'd be kind of awkward because that Shooting Riser is level 3 right there because it did send a 4, I think. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see him just actually link for IP, which I guess is fine. But we're gonna see our Brandon Despia player here start with Dark Ruler No More, a very, very solid card right now in this format. We're going to see him chain Basil Rose Shoot because that is a spell card. Dark Ruler says you cannot respond with monster effects. It's obviously a spell effect here. So we could, you know, technically now chain IP Masquerade to this, but, you know, unfortunately, if he goes for Appaloosa, you know, the chain will resolve, Dark Ruler resolve, still negating the Appaloosa. So looks like he's just going to go ahead and tag into the Dark Charmer and then bringing back the Rox Rose. So I guess the only plus here is that if the Dark Charmer gets destroyed, he can go ahead and search out sort of like follow-up, like Magician Souls or something like that. So not the end of the world there. But now breaking this board is really going to be kind of easy because the Brandon Despia deck does have a lot of really good spot removal in the form of Mirror Jade and also in the form of the Guardian Chimera. So breaking this board is probably going to be very, very easy to do. While also setting up a good board on top of it to make it hard for his opponent to come back through. So we'll see him lead with Patchwork. Patchwork will add the Chain and the Poly. And now it's just, yeah, it's just a matter of picking apart the board here. Really no threats in grave outside of Fairy Tale Snow. Which won't be too big of an issue for our Despia player to deal with here. So we'll see what he is going to lead with. It's like this might seem pretty easy, but like in a situation like this where you just Dark Ruler to your opponent, you've got to play it optimally here because you don't want to leave any slack for them next turn. You also remember that Disc Coliseum is in play too, so that can be kind of a problem here as it'll, you know, protect his monsters even under Dark Ruler here. And it will also allow him to get follow-up. So you want to make sure you kind of address that Disc Coliseum here. And we'll see him go for opening. Discarding Edgem Chain. And summoning out Albert. Chainlink 1 Albert. Chainlink 2 Chain. He'll search Branded Fusion. And the Patchwork. Already resolved Patchwork this turn. But just getting an extra, you know, free card to the hand. Activate Branded Fusion. Could you imagine if there was an Ash Blossom on that? Ash Blossom? Ash Blossom. Yeah, Brandon Despia might be able to do a lot of cool stuff. Same thing with the Predaplant variant. But it all boils down to, you know, that each variant of the deck still having one choke point, and that is Ash on Branded Fusion, because that is just one hell of a card. So we're going to see Albion activate, banishing, I believe, Edgimp Chain, and I think that was Edgimp Chain and, yeah, Edgimp Chain and Albaz to go ahead and summon out a Lubellion, and then Lubellion effect to summon back or shuffle back the Albaz and the Lubellion to bring out Mirror Jade. Again, kind of the same fusion technique that we saw in game 1, keeping that extra body on field. So this will allow him to actually go ahead and fuse with 2 from field for Guardian Chimera, so we'll be able to pop 2 cards here, start dismantling the board. So it looks like it's going to be Chainlink 1 Chimera, Chainlink 2 Tragedy. We'll go ahead and search out the Ad Libitum of Despia, and then he'll go ahead and draw and then destroy 2. So we'll clear the Disc Coliseum, and we'll see what else will be destroyed. I imagine getting rid of Regulus is, Regulus, technically the equip from Regulus should fall off. I should have mentioned that earlier, because the Therions are kind of like Borreload Savage, where if you negate them, their equips fall off. So that other Regulus should not be on the field right now in the Spell Trap zone. Even if it was giving it some kind of boost, it wouldn't be anymore. So it is still, it is at 2800. So he technically could have just cleared the Baron, and then getting over the 2800 Regulus is really easy. But you know, Chimera can get over pretty much anything on the field anyways. So we'll see Chimera and the Mirror Jade clear everything in battle except the Dark Charmer. He'll let the Mirror Jade get rid of that, so he does not give him sort of any cards over the course of this turn. He'll dump Brigand the Glory Dragon. In end phase, he'll get Glory Dragon effect. So go ahead and summon a Tri-Brigade monster or add it to hand. So if he does have Kit, he can summon that. Or he could technically summon or add Mercurier, since that is also a Tri-Brigade monster. But it looks like also thinking before the end phase here. Looks like he's going to activate Fairy Tale Snow. So this is basically going to put his opponent on, you know, you need to have the Mercurier now before you get to search. Or he might be chaining it to the Glory Dragon. So yeah, this is just going to force, I mean, you could have done it in main phase, I guess, because now Fairy Tale Snow has to activate on a new chain on field. And this is just going to basically just force the Mercurier, or it's not. He's just going to let it go through. So add the Mercurier, and I guess that's kind of smart to hold it because you have Brandon and Red, you know, coming your way anyways. So, you know, let him get it back to the grave and then burn it again, you know, more resources in the grave to be able to summon it back. So we're going to see him lead with Enchantress of the Temple here. That's going to go ahead and get right. So we could try to get some of that Brave Engine rolling here, which would be very important. Getting access to Griffin Rider or Illegal Knight would be very, very clutch here. He's going to need pretty much all the gas he can get to be able to play through Mercurier plus Branded and Red. One of the sets we can imagine is probably an extra patchwork. This deck does tend to set bluffs, making it harder to kind of like Night Beam. Well, I guess not in this case because we know where the Branded and Red set, but you know, help protect from things like Cosmic Cyclones, right? You can kind of set a bluff here and there. Make your opponent think, you know, maybe have some more interruptions in the back line, but ultimately it's probably just extra patchworks and polymerizations and things like that you really didn't need over the course of your turn. So we're going to go ahead and see him get Token. And then on the summon of Token, Fateful Adventure is going to go ahead and grab the Draco back. Or he's adding, okay, I think he's, yeah, getting Draco back, and then effect to go ahead search a monster, adding Griffin Rider, discarding the Draco back. And it looks like we're going to see him chain Branded and Red in response. He does have Ad-Lib in the mix here now, which is kind of strong. So we'll see him go for another Chimera. New chains here, you know, the Draco back resolving, the Chimera resolving, the Ad-Lib resolving. So we'll go ahead and get to pop 2 and draw 1 and bring back the Mirror Jade here. But looks like we're going to see Forbidden Droplet, sending off the Fairy Tale Snow to attempt to negate the, what is it? The, I can't think, the Chimera, but we're going to see a branded opening chained in response. And then in response to the opening, we're going to see Fairy Tale Snow get chained, banishing the opening, banishing the Chimera, essentially making Droplet here not able to negate the Chimera. And yeah, this is going to clear everything here, still get the Mirror Jade back, still draw a card, and you know, you basically just reset the opponent's entire field. So the Fairy Tale Snow will still get negated by the Droplet because there is still a monster on field that can be negated. And you know, had to at least the amount that he sent. He only sent one, so you can hit just the one. And I don't think he'd been able to hit the Mirror Jade with the Droplet based on the way everything resolved. Maybe he could have, not entirely sure. There's a weird wonky chain link there, big chain link too. But we're gonna see him bring back his own Fairy Tale Snow again, and it's gonna attempt to book the Mirror Jade. It's gonna force the Mercurier in hand. Nice, don't have to worry about a banish. We'll see him go for a Chaos Ruler, banishing a Light and Dark, just banishing so many cards at this point, and probably just trying to figure out, you know, how is it possible to win the game at this point. Not really looking too likely here. The opponent has a lot of follow-up right now, as the Despia deck typically tends to have. We'll see Mirror Jade effect activate to banish the snow, get that out of the loop, and let him just run over the Mirror Jade, trigger Mirror Jade. Well, Mirror Jade won't get its effect in the end phase because it was not fusion summoned. It was just special summoned from being banished. The game state no longer remembers there's a fusion summoned monster. So the end phase effect to Raigeki should not resolve here. But our opponent, or our Therion Adventure Punk player, trying to resolve a Foxatoon, realizing that probably not getting him anywhere. And he is going to concede, as the Branded Despia player has way too much follow-up at this point. So yeah, that's going to do it for this match. Branded Despia winning 2-0. If you guys want to see more of my content, check out one of the videos popping up at the bottom of the screen right now. And last but not least, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members who are Tweeter 0226, Pony Start, Cadillacs 84, Justin Lamb, and HCH Cyber. Thank you guys so much as always for your extremely kind and generous support of the channel.